overcomplicates sourdough. And this is my video for people who need simple sourdough. I'm not an expert, but I'm expert at simplifying it. I keep my starter in the fridge and I feed it once a week. I make stuff once a week. And I'm gonna show you how to make multiple things and feed the starter and all the things. So we're gonna start out here. You have to have a scale and you wanna set it to milliliters and you'll wanna tare it. So it's zeroed out with, actually, I gotta get a fresh jar, hold on. It's a lot to make something and tell it at the same time. So this is my starter. I'm gonna go get a fresh jar. And I'm actually gonna get 2-3 fresh jars because I'm gonna make one starter to put back in the fridge for next week. I make one for bread and one for like a treat I make my kids, usually muffins. Okay, here we go. I have 3 different jars. I love to use these Weck jars because they're perfect for the starter just with these glass lids. So I've got 2 of those, and then this works also. So I'm going to feed the one I'm gonna put back in the fridge first, which is the one in my nicest jar. And so you're gonna tare that first. Okay, I tilted the camera down a little bit. We're gonna first start with 20 grams. Let's see, hold on. Okay, so make sure your scale is on grams. 20 grams of starter, which really is not that much. Like, okay, that's 21. Wow, that was good. And if you go over and it's not perfect, regardless of what people tell you, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, then we're gonna tare it again. Then we're gonna add 90 grams of flour. So your scale says 0. Keep adding flour till it says 90. Whoa, I got right on 90. Then you're gonna tare it again, so it says 0. Then we're gonna add 100 grams of what I like to call lukewarm to warm water. and 4. So this one is done. I'm gonna do the exact same thing in this jar and in this jar. Okay, and then now I have them all 3 fed the starter. I have this much left over, so I'm gonna toss this in the garbage. You do not want this to go down the sink. Then you take a thing like this and you stir it, and you wanna make sure, like as you're stirring, especially in a jar like this, to like check and make sure that it's all the flour got incorporated. Once I get them all stirred up, I'm gonna put one in the fridge for next week. That is my main starter. And then I'm gonna put these 2 on the counter. And I often will leave them out on the counter until tomorrow morning. That is when I will start making my sourdough bread, and I make like a treat for my kids, usually blueberry sourdough muffins. Okay, so this is the starter that I'm gonna keep for next week. Put it back in the fridge. I do nothing to that starter until next week. That's it. There's no more feeding starter every day. It is not necessary. And then the 2 that I'm gonna use, I usually just like put them on the counter somewhere, and I put a light lid on them. That's why I like these Weck jars, because they're perfect for letting the sourdough starter breathe, because it has to breathe to create. And then let's see if I can find one of these. I'm just gonna pop, honestly, I'm just gonna put this on the other one because I don't have the right, just to keep bugs out, but that it's still breathing. And then I'm gonna get as much of this in the garbage as I can. And that's it, you guys. It's literally that easy.